Well, it looks like I got a full house. Today we're going to talk about poker planning. This is an estimation strategy you can use within your team to help you plan for the work for your team or a team of teams. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, give you some overview on what is it and how it works. And in this video, these tips and tricks for either a seasoned or beginners can help you ace that poker planning with your team.
Welcome to the digital age where people, processes, and tools are revolutionizing how we operate. Here we dive into the world of artificial intelligence, cloud technology, agile frameworks, and data management, all served up in bite-sized, easy-to-understand portions. Ever wondered about the potential of AI? Puzzled by the cloud? Agile frameworks leaving you spinning? Or data management sounding like a different language? Fear not. We're here to demystify. We break down these complex concepts into simple, digestible insights for organizations, big and small. In this fast-paced world, staying ahead of the curve is crucial. So why not keep up with the latest trends in the digital age? Don't let the future leave you behind. Subscribe now and stay informed. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you. So come on board, the future is waiting. Dive into the dynamic world of Scrum, where planning poker plays a crucial role. Picture this: a deck of cards, a round table, and a user story to estimate. That's the setting for planning poker, a gamified technique used by agile development teams. It's all about estimating the effort required for project management tasks. Each team member selects a card representing their estimate for a user story. These cards are revealed simultaneously, sparking discussions and rounds of estimation until a consensus is reached. Now that we've grasped what planning poker is, let's delve into its significance in team success. Unleash the power of planning poker in driving team success. Picture this: a development team embarks on a new project. They're armed not just with their skills and experience, but with a deck of planning poker cards. Each team member looks at a user story, contemplates its complexity, and privately selects a card representing their estimate of effort. Once all cards are on the table, the team sees a range of estimates. This isn't a cause for concern, but an opportunity for dialogue and understanding. The team discusses their reasoning, listens to differing perspectives, and eventually reaches a consensus. This process, repeated for each user story, does more than just provide accurate estimates. It fosters collaboration and engagement, ensuring that every voice is heard and every perspective considered. This collective wisdom leads to statistically higher and more accurate estimates than individual ones, setting the stage for successful project outcomes. Clearly, planning poker is not just a game, but a strategic tool that propels teams towards success. Let's recap the power plays of planning poker in Scrum.
I want to thank everybody for making it this far in the video. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like this video. Continues more content going forward. Now, let's get back into the topic.
It's a gamified technique that helps development teams estimate the effort required for project tasks. The process starts with reading a user story aloud, followed by a team discussion. Each member then privately selects a card representing their estimate, which are revealed simultaneously. This technique is not just a game of numbers, it's a catalyst for team engagement and collaboration. It encourages open communication, fosters active participation, and ensures a clear understanding of user stories. To enhance its effectiveness, keep discussions lively and focused, and make sure everyone is on the same page about the user stories. With planning poker in your Scrum toolkit, you're well equipped to ace your project estimates. Remember, it's all about collaboration, communication, and consensus.
So let's talk about poker planning today. So we talked about the theory, now let's put this into practice. So this is a Confluence page just to show you kind of the steps and the reasoning behind it, and we'll actually give you to the application side where you actually can apply this for different tools that are used or that you can use within your teams for poker planning. So first of all, let's go over the background of the goal of poker planning. Goal of poker planning is fast scoping of work utilizing relative sizing. Very important. Fast, dirty, easy way to scope something. Let's kind of see how this works in practice. So here are two objects. Here's a pyramid in Egypt, and here's the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And they're to scale, or roughly to scale. And so you can see here, if I said how many meters or how many feet is this pyramid, unless you knew that, it would be just a wild guess, right? Because unless you've been there, it'd be tough to actually get that estimate right. And so we'll take a second, take a guess, and let's see what it actually is. 149 meters, okay? So just for perspective here, now that we know this sizing, what do you think the size is of the Eiffel Tower? Remember, this is to scale. So what do you think? So probably thinking about maybe 2 times, maybe a little over 2.5 or 2 and a little bit. Let's take a look. 324. So you can see it is roughly a little over half, right? So I would say this is twice as bigger, right? That's kind of the idea, right? We're really good at relative estimating things when we already know the size of it and using that technique. And so that's what it was generated from poker planning. Fast, easy way to get close, right? You won't be perfect. If I said 2 times, it would be a little bit less, but it'd be close enough, right? So that's kind of the idea. So you don't spend a lot of time and not getting, as much value if these discussions go longer. And so now I kind of tell you the concepts and the background and the kind of the some techniques of why it's used. But now let's talk about the rules and also what tools you might use within your team to actually conduct this as a leader or a scrum master. So the first rule is hand out the cards or provide story point options. So obviously with the hybrid work environment, we don't have physical cards all the time, but that's an option, right? You hand out a set of cards to everybody with the numbers that they can choose. If you don't, virtually at least provide what options or what numbers within that tool or with your team to understand what they can use. You can see here's an idea as well. This is off the Fibonacci sequence. If you're not familiar, I would do more research on what that is. And essentially the Fibonacci sequence is as things get more complex or bigger, it gets more complex. And so that's kind of why it doesn't scale linearly. It scales exponentially. And so keep that in mind of why that's used. Also provides less options. So we're not figuring out, is it a 1.5, is it a 4.5, is it a 7? No, there's some select options. So we can, again, the goal of this is from fast scoping, relative sizing, right? Fast scoping, really important. Second step is read the story. So the product owner or the team would read the story and say, hey, this is the story that I have, and they would discuss with the team. So let's go to an example of a user story that might be in this situation. So you can see here, AS-10, as a chef, I want to be able to compare prices for food with local wholesalers. The name of the story is create the UI for the chart. Acceptance criteria is chef can see prices for local food within 10-mile radius. Chef is able to choose that currency. So someone would actually read that out to the team before they estimate it. And then the second portion, going back to the steps, is that they would estimate blindly and share. So that's really important. You don't want groupthink or the loudest person or the most senior person to actually change what the team will put, or sometimes they'll go with the flow. That will hurt your estimates because there might be something that's missed and you're under scoping it. And so what's going to happen is your timelines are going to slip. So really important, blindly estimate and share. And then what you do is you work towards the consensus. So we all flip our cards, we all see what we have, or it's virtually you all see the virtual cards. And then you say, wow, we have different numbers here. I have a 1, you have a 3. Why did you pick a 3, right? Those outliers I would discuss with the team and figure out why, what's missing, right, in that scope for those differences. And what you would do is repeat until you repeat this cycle until you get a consensus. For me personally, I think that 2 cycles are as much as I would do, because it sometimes takes a lot of time. If you keep on going cycles, sometimes people don't always come to consensus. Usually 2 cycles is what I give the team, and usually that's, I think, the sweet spot. And then what you do is you go through that through all the stories are done, right? Once that's all done, then you can start your sprint, right? That's the end goal of sprint planning, is to making sure you're all aligned on that so you can go forward. So that's the steps. What I want to do is get into the practical side, because this is the goal of this portion of the video. So let me give you some options that you can use within your team. So the first one I'm going to give you is an integrated application within Jira. So there's apps you can get in the App Store for this poker planning. So you can see here's a UI. You can estimate now, you can pick the cards, right? And they reveal the cards. So when you do that, everybody has that option to postpone or skip. There's some questions, comments, there's people in the room. So they're all kind of laid out the same. This is just one option. Within Jira, there's apps that you can get. Just double check the price, because sometimes the pricing can be expensive. So I would check the pricing for your team before you actually install these. Second option I would say is these online poker planning tools. So here's one here. This is for free. Obviously, there's limitations. There's like a freemium version. A lot of these are, but you can get free versions even without logging in. So it's really nice. You can get same layout here. You pick your cards, and once you pick your card, we'll reveal all the cards when everybody's ready. You can have some timers and things as well, to making sure people are not spending a lot of time. Remember, the goal is fast, easy, fast planning. Third option I would say, this can be done not only in a Slack room, but it can be done in an MS Teams channel. It can be done in any kind of chat you have. And how it works is all the team puts their estimate in the chat. So you can see I have 2 here, and they're all in the same chat, but you do not press enter, right? And someone designates as a timer and says 1, 2, 3, and we all press enter, right? That's kind of the idea. 1, 2, 3, enter. So 1, 2, 3, enter, and we all enter at the same time. And we see what the differences are. Very similar. This is probably the cheapest, easiest way, fastest way to do it with your own channel. So going back to the poker planning, I give you the reasons why to use it. I give you the steps of how to use it. And I also give you some practical tools that you can use within your team today to making sure you're doing the best poker planning. So I appreciate everyone today in this video. If you like this video, please subscribe and like this video. If you want some of these cheat sheets or these sheets for you to help you go through that, please contact me, making sure that your team is successful in poker planning.